Now the applied aspect of the facial nerve. Before starting its effect, in this diagram, this is the cerebral cortex. This is the motor nucleus of the facial nerve and the face. We see in this diagram, each motor nucleus of the facial nerve is connected with the two cerebral cortex. The fibers that are known as the corticonuclear fibers from the both cerebral hemispheres comes to the one side and send from this side and from the opposite side to the opposite motor nucleus of the facial nerve. In the face, the upper part of the face, that is the forehead and the eyelid region, it is controlled, upper part of the face is controlled by the corticonuclear fibers of the both sides. While the lower part of the face, that is controlled by the corticonuclear fibers of the opposite side. For example, in this face, the upper part of the face, it is controlled by this both cerebral cortex, while these fibers are controlled by the cerebral cortex, opposite side, contralateral. This is the contralateral. Now, if there is a lesion of these corticonuclear fibers, they are damaged. When happens? It happens due to the injury of the internal capsule. If there is a hemorrhage in the internal capsules, these corticonuclear fibers are affected. If the lesion is on one side, then there is the lesion on the left side, then the lower half of the contralateral side of the face is paralyzed. Why? Because the upper part of the face, we have already discussed, upper part of the face is controlled by the both cerebral cortex, while the lower part of the face is controlled by the opposite side of these corticonuclear fibers. And this type of lesion, it is known as the upper motor neuron lesion. In the case of the facial nerve, in case of the upper motor neuron lesion, contralateral side of the lower part of the face is paralyzed. Now, if the damage to the nucleus of the facial nerve is damaged, or these infranuclear fibers are cut, this part are damaged, this type of injury, it is known as the lower motor neuron lesion. And what will affect of this lesion? This result to the ipsilateral side of the complete face is paralyzed. So, if the injury occurs at the pontine levels, or if the nerve damage at the stylomastoid foramen are below it, the same side of the muscle of the face will be the paralyzed, and this is the lower motor neuron lesion. Now, overall injury of this facial nerve, it is the lower motor neuron lesion. Suppose the injury occurs above the geniculate ganglion, here the nerve is cut in the facial canal, then what will be the effect? All the branches will lose the function. This is the greater petrosal nerve, so it is the decreased lacrimation of the same side. Then nerve to the stapedius will paralyze. It results in the hyperacusis. Then it is the chorda tympani nerve lost their function. As a result of which the salivation will decrease, not completely lost. It will decrease, as well as there is a change, alteration of the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. Alteration of the taste of the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. This is due to the effect of this chorda tympani nerve, and ultimately all these branches of the facial muscles, temporal, zygomatic, buccal, marginal, mandibular and the cervical will lose, and this will lead to the ipsilateral side of the paralysis of the face. Now suppose if the lesion occurs just below the stylomastoid foramen here, then what will affect? All the nerve above these are normal functioning. All the function will remain normal. There is no hyperacusis, no decrease of the salivation. Only effect law of paralysis of the facial muscles, and this condition is known as the Bell's palsy. Bell's palsy, ipsilateral side of the paralysis of the facial muscles. Now the another symptoms, that is known as the crocodile tear syndrome. मुहावरा भी रहता है कि घड़ियाली आंसू बहाना, उसी पे बना क्रोकोडाइल टीयर सिंड्रोम. दिस सिंड्रोम इज लाइक द फ्रेज सिंड्रोम. Fray's syndrome. The Fray's syndrome, it is the gustatory sweating, while the crocodile tear syndrome, it is the gustatory lacrimation. It is the difference. It is the lacrimation and it is the sweating. What will happen in the crocodile tear syndrome? If the injury occurs, this is the facial nerve. This is the geniculate ganglion. Geniculate ganglion. If the nerve cut proximal to the geniculate ganglion, then it has the two fibers. Greater petrosal nerve will go to the lacrimal gland, while the chorda tympani, it is the salivary gland. These fibers goes. Now after the regeneration, if the healing occurs, these fibers mismatch, means the salivatory fibers cross and joins with this lacrimal nucleus fibers. As a result of which, during the eating, at the time of the eating, both will secrete saliva as well as the tear, because both secretions are controlled by these facial nerve branches and they mismatch, and this results in the crocodile tear syndrome. This is about the facial nerve. Thank you.